We did look into it a lot. There are other brands out there that, yeah, they're good machines, but with strip tillage it all comes down to clearance, and the clearance under the machine, through the machine, for trash, like chopped straw. We've done a bit of drilling into cover crops, and it's the ability for the residue to flow through the machine. We've always wanted to be able to put a tine through the soil to move the root structure with our last pass when we're establishing the crops, and that's what the machine offered. And the press wheel, I think that is the key to this drill, is the little press wheel behind the coulter. That seed to soil contact is vital with this system, and if you don't have that putting the seed into moisture, I don't believe it works, and that's what Missouri offers. It's well built. You know, you look at all the machines, it is a seriously well built machine, sometimes over engineered, but that's not a bad thing. But yeah, it's seriously well built. And when you're working in, we do a lot of contracting, so we can go from Holderness clay or Holderness soils, which are heavy soils, up onto the Wolds, which is a lot more brashy stuff, and it's the ability to withstand different soil types, establishing crops into fields that would have been using traditional cultivation, so they're a lot tighter. 3 years on with our soils, we do find that it's a lot easier to pull our machine through changing the nature of the soil, less compaction. Yeah, all round is, and through, you know, we went down to meet Martin and Will and Samantha, and they're just great to go on with, because the enthusiasm rubs off from Martin because he's interested in what he's doing, and it does rub off on you, and you buy into the system really. We've started with Missouri in 2013, so before that we were using the traditional method, so it'd be a heavy disc, flat lift, harrow, and then drill with a tine drill. It's just the traditional way of doing it, and commodity prices and cost of inputs, I decided that we needed to cut our cost per tonne, that's the way you've got to run your businesses now. I believe that the wheat price is where it is, and the only way to make money is cut your cost of production, and that's where the strip tillage, in me and my brother sort of investigating strip tillage, took us down the line of Missouri, and that's where we started in 2013. We demoed the machine and then took the plunge after 2012, everyone remembers, one of the worst harvest years, and people thought I was mad, but I knew that this is where we had to be heading, was cut the cost of production, and ultimately you can weather the storm when it gets down to £110 a tonne. If you're still getting good yields and your cost of establishment is lower than the traditional way of doing it, ultimately you should be able to weather the storm and hopefully still be able to turn a profit in the leaner times. We're not baling as much straw as we used to. We chop straw, and literally you can watch chopped straw disappear before your eyes, because you're not compacting the soil through multiple operations. We use the straw rake to distribute the straw, but literally you are going in, sowing the crop and allowing nature just to get on with it. The soil will find its own balance, and over 3 years the machine it's easier to pull, because the soils are sort of finding their own natural level through worms, invertebrates. So there's that side of it, you know, the biological side of the soil. But when you look at it on paper and what it costs you to establish a crop, that's what it ultimately comes down to. Because last year, I'm not afraid to admit, we were averaging 12 tonne a hectare on winter wheat. So my cost per tonne, I'm getting down to £88, £89 a tonne. That's before single farm payment. That's taking in, I'm a tenant farm, so I'm paying, that's with rent thrown in there. When you're getting down to that level, you can live with the £120 a tonne, £110 a tonne. So I don't preach to anyone that this is the way to do it, but for me, being a tenant farmer, I'll never go back to the way we were doing it. Financially wise, and then the other thing is we joke about it. My old man, it took him a year or so to get used to the fact that he wasn't sending 2 blokes out with tractors to do cultivations, because that's what you had to do. You had to get the primary, then the secondary cultivations done. I have a lot more time with my family. We have barbecues on a Saturday afternoon if we're not combining, because it's, barring a bit of stubble rake or a bit of rotational subsoiling, which doesn't take a long time, we do find that we have more time on our hands. And yeah, you could get more land, you'd have more work, but ultimately it comes down to, I enjoy being a farmer, but it does give you a bit of your life back. Whereas before, you know, I did spend my whole summer sat on a tractor. Don't get me wrong, I have my busy periods, but it does give you your life back, which is the work-life balance. And that's what it comes down to, really.